streamer, shining so bright. Chaos, chaos, a name so bold. His legend grows, a story untold. From humble beginnings to stardom's rise, he's a beacon of hope in gamers' eyes. Arc, I'm the beacon of light. Now, hey,
All right, everyone, welcome on back, and thank you very much for your patience. We are just getting everything set on up here so that we are ready to go ahead and do our
You must
interview.
construct additional pylons.
There we go. So we just want to set up for the podcast and talk show. Perfect. And thank you, Chelsea. Thank you guys very much for your patience. I feel like I've been running all over the place, y'all. I really do. But yes, guys, we are just getting ready to go and interview Kesh. Amazing person, amazing streamer. We are currently inside a stream together here, and we will be interviewing her in just about 7 minutes here. So we'll be kicking off here soon. But that said, guys, what are we looking forward to doing here this week? Or was there anything that you guys did? For me, I am absolutely looking forward to sleeping. I know that sounds ridiculous, but we have been streaming now. Or not streaming, we DJ'd for the entire weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We had to leave from here at 6 a.m. every day. We would get there, then typically we would set up for like an hour or so, and then we'd we'd DJ for about typically till about 6 p.m., so 10, 11 hours. Then we pack everything up, take it home, and do it the next day. So it's been about 14 or 15-hour days for the last 3 days. And on Sunday night, guys, we ran all the way till about 9:50 at night. So that was easily a 16-hour day or so when it was all said between travel. And luckily for us, it was a corporate event. We did the whole DJ thing for it. A lot of fun. The AAU, what is that? It's the AAU Junior Olympics. It is, Chelsea. It's a lot, but to be honest, we will rest up. The biggest thing for me is just, it's a lot of heavy equipment, because we pull up what's called a ZLX12P. They are basically megaphones and such. They are speakers that probably weigh somewhere like 50 or 60 pounds. The rest is mega. You are not wrong, by the way, Vibes. Guys, by the way, thank you for the check-ins. And guys, if you've not checked out Vibes yet, here's a nice little introduction. Vibes is who we will be interviewing tonight. Just an amazing streamer altogether, amazing person, and I'm hoping that you guys will absolutely be able to check her out more, because again, I think she's awesome to say the least. And yes, that's probably one of my favorite things about running through all these. Can't wait for the interview, absolutely. And guys, by the way, if you are interested inside of these, we have within our Discord, we have a couple of things, and if you want to check out the Discord and such, let me just drop that on in here now. But the reason I bring it up is because we have something called Chaos&Raves inside the interview, inside my Discord. One is to see who's going to be upcoming interviewers. So like, for example, we have Vibes today. Next week will be Annalie. And we also have a part, we have a part where you can submit to go ahead and apply to go ahead and be interviewed. And typically the only requirements that we have is that you're streaming 3 times a week. We do also ask that you are at least affiliate. And we've been lucky because a lot of the people that we asked to go ahead and interview have turned into partners inside the time since we asked them to now. So last month, we were originally supposed to have 1 partner and 3 affiliates. And instead we ended up with basically 3 partners and 1, I think, soon to be partner. because I think Sir Deco is absolutely on his way. There we go. Man, we are just cruising through that water today, guys. To be fair, we've been sitting between 90 and 100 degrees for the past couple of days. So it has been a lot for us. But we're slowly getting there, slowly getting away from all the heat and just having us a little bit of fun. Heck, even now, we are inside a basement here doing these interviews. It's very hot here. Yeah, you don't even have any AC, by the way, Chelsea. I don't know how you guys are doing that because it is getting hot as heck there. And on top of that, if you're inside a room where you are streaming with a computer, that's a lot. That is absolutely a lot to go ahead and be doing. Actually, I want to drop Fatherly Wolf a follow as well because I want to check him out later too. There we go. So I will admit, guys, whenever I drop follows, it's not so much like, don't get me wrong, when I find someone who's awesome too, but usually I drop follows during my streams because it's more like I want to check out this person later. Thank you, Minnie. Now, that brings us to a good point. Guys, when we're inside the middle of the interview, most of our notifications will be turned off. In fact, pretty much all of them will be. Hello, Newfie. Welcome on in. And yes, so during the actual interview, we will not be talking. We'll be talking here, but most of my attention will be focused on vibes. So I would ask you guys to do two things. Number one, drop your questions as they come up inside of the actual chat. Because as Vibe sees them, she can go ahead and respond to them as well. The second thing, by the way, guys, is hold them till the end in case they don't get answered. Because my thing will be at the end. We'll go ahead and be moderating and doing things there. Nor do I. Nor do I what? I don't know what we're doing. All right, here, guys, we are about to go ahead and kick on into the interview. So let me switch on over to our other screen. All righty here. Now, let me just go ahead and unmute. And like I was saying, guys, we will not be looking too much here at chat during word. If I do have mods currently in chat, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and welcoming in raiders and such in case I miss. If I do see it, I will try to pause that we can go ahead and say hi as well. But otherwise, Vibes, welcome on in.
Hi, friend.
Good to see ya. How are we doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little nervous.
A little nervous?
I guess that's normal.
Well, I have good news for you. Being nervous and being excited is all the same thing.
True. That's fair. That's fair. It just depends on where you put your energy.
Exactly. Now, Vibes, for anyone who doesn't know you, now, I guess I should say this first. So, guys, this is VibesWKesh. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct.
Yeah.
And Kesh, if you wouldn't mind going and doing so, could you mind introducing yourself, talking about the content that you do, and what you do as a streamer?
I play a lot of indie games. Those are usually my favorite to play. I do also play a lot of Fortnite. That's kind of how I started streaming, is with Fortnite, which is kind of funny because I told myself I wasn't going to play Fortnite and I wasn't going to stream, and I do both. So I guess I was wrong. I do a heavy focus on the indie games because I do like the options that there are in those kinds of games, and I feel like there's so many to look forward to. Like I have so many that I'm eyeing right now. I'm counting down the days till they release. I've been streaming since like tail end of January 2021. Like literal tail end of January, because then I was affiliated on February the 8th of 2021. And then I I guess I use my platform to kind of help other people. I like showing other people that they can stream without thinking that they have to pour copious amounts of money in there, or that they have to be someone other than themselves. I feel like it feels more authentic to be yourself, and you're more comfortable when you're yourself. Um, and I usually on my platform I joke around with my friends. We're a mess and a half, but we have a good time, and that's more so what I like in my streaming is just to have a good time.
Absolutely. So when do you normally stream, by the way, Kesh?
Um, it's a tough one. I do I do try to stream every evening if I can. Around 7:30 Central Standard Time to about 11:30. Um, that is if my medications and illness issues allow. Sometimes I can't. We're beat, and then we're like, okay, maybe we skip this one. We take a break. We take a rest. Um, but if the universe allows, every evening, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to 11:30 p.m. Sometimes we run over. Sometimes we start a little earlier, but that's usually the bracket that I am in.
Perfect. Now, Kesh, I'm very curious on here. Where does your name kind of stem from?
It comes from my name, and so I had a different username actually. Um, so I used to be Kay the Goddessy, um, because I really liked Homer's Odyssey, and so I just kind of made that into a username for myself, and then I kind of switched it up because that's really hard for people to remember and or spell. So so then I was like, let's do something different. And I always say like, oh, we're vibing, we're chilling, like we're kicking it. And so it took me a while to get there, but I was like, I was brainstorming, names. I was like, I want to change my name, something probably easier, something more memorable, um, something that'll stick with people and something that kind of fits um kind of like how we like to chill and stream. And so eventually we got to uh, VibesWKesh because my name is Keisha. But I know that when people look at it, they say Kesh, and that's fine too. I don't mind it. I they're the same. It's spelled the same. It may not sound the same, but it's the same. Um,
So what you're
some
saying is I'm
people
wrong.
no. Oh my God, this is Tizzy all over again. Send help. Tizzy absolutely lost it when he realized that I pronounce it as quiche. And to me, it really doesn't matter, you guys. It's okay. Both are correct.
But
Um,
one is more correct.
I mean by a technicality, but like who gives a crap, right? Like it is what it is. You type them the same, it's still me.
Absolutely. Now, Quiche, I'm getting this correct. I'm making sure.
Okay, you're making it.
Okay, I'm checking. Now, help me out here because you have a little bit of an interesting story as a streamer,
I
which I
do.
think is a little bit unique. Do you mind kind of like sharing how you got started as a streamer?
Yeah. So I got started streaming because of my mom. My mom is a pusher. And she was streaming before because she was playing Fortnite. She got into playing Fortnite because um she had a game system. My little brother had a game system, and he was always playing Fortnite. And she would watch him, and then she was kind of like, you know what? I think I want to try playing that. And so then they would play together, and then she started playing it more than him. And then I don't know how this happened. I don't know, but then she was like, I'm gonna start streaming. And so then she was streaming, and she was playing Fortnite, and she was having a grand old time on her own. And then she was meeting all these people while streaming, and they would stream together, and that was before Twitch had the stream together function, um, stuff like that. And so um, then she goes to me and she's like, "You should play Fortnite." And I was like, "I am not going to play that fuck ass game. I do not want to play that game."
I do not want to
And
play it here or there. I do not want to play it anywhere.
yeah, I was like, "Dude, I am not playing Fortnite, ma'am." And she was like, "Oh my god, it's really fun. Like, you should play Fortnite. Like, you should do the thing." And I was like, "Mother, I I will not eat green eggs and ham. Not here, not there, not anywhere." And she just really kept pushing. And then I was like, "Fine, I'll play this fuck ass game with my mom because my mom wants me to play this game with her." And uh, I started playing Fortnite, and my mom was streaming still. And I was really bad at Fortnite. And then like she would do things like she would die, and then her friends would die, and it would be just me, and I barely know how to play this game. And I don't know what y'all thought this was, but we gonna lose together. We die together. There's no Keisha's gonna carry us. Keisha barely knows how to play this game. It ain't gonna work.
So what you're
It don't
saying
make
is the
money. It don't make
Kool-Aid
sense.
was spread.
Yes. And so then from there, she's like, "Oh my gosh, my chat thinks you're so funny, and your reactions and the things that you say, you should stream." And I was like, "No, no, lady. You will not get me twice. I will not stream. I barely play this diggity damn game." And lo and behold, I was wrong again, and um I started streaming, and I got affiliated in 8 days.
Really?
Yes,
8 days.
8 days.
So
And so
Miss
then she was like,
Miss,
"There
I'm
you
not
go."
gonna stream. Screw this game. And suddenly, 8 days later,
Eight
you got a
days.
week in one day. I mean,
Yeah.
even God needed 7 days, guys. And Quiche just needed
I needed
8.
8 days, and I didn't realize how big of a deal that was. But even like my mom was like, "Girl, how did you do that? Like, what is that? Like,
I
how?"
really
It's
hope
like
that when she asked that, you were just like the John Cena.
I was just like, I don't know. And so and she talked about how like even for her like it took like a few months, and all of like her streaming buddies and stuff like that's the same thing. Like it took them months. Like that was something that took a hot minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh." And then I was like, I met other people through streaming, and as I got connected to Pizza Party, I was learning that there were a lot of people that they're saying, "Hey, it took me months. It took me a year. It took me, insert much longer time than 8 days." And I was
And
like,
you did
"Oh, I
this all
didn't really."
prior, just to confirm, this was all prior to pizza.
I joined Pizza Party at the tail end, but I was a baby. I was so new.
Help me
I
out.
didn't
What would be the
really
time like? What year would this have been?
all in 2021.
All in 2021. Okay.
So I was really new to Pizza Party. I didn't really have my points quite yet. I was kind of floating around there, but I didn't really know anybody in Pizza Party yet. I was kind of like observing in the shadows. Um, it was just kind of, I was a little apprehensive because I was like, I don't even know if this is gonna be a thing. I'm doing this so my mom will get off my back, and I can at least
See,
say
I
that I
love
attempted.
this because usually parents are like, get off the damn computer. I want you to do XYZ. And your mom's like, get on the damn
Yeah.
computer.
And back then I didn't have a PC, so I didn't have all the bells and whistles. I was initially during this time, and this is like real crazy. And this is why I tell people You don't need much to stream. When I started and when I got affiliated, I didn't have OBS yet. I didn't really wasn't really familiar with OBS. I was streaming directly from my Xbox. So I didn't even have chat link. You couldn't hear my chat, you could hear me. Um and that was it. You could hear me in the game. You couldn't hear who I was playing with or anything like that. And that was really kind of funny because like I hear people all the time who say like, "Oh, I'll start streaming when I get a laptop or when I get a computer." And I'm like, "No. Stream now. Stream now." Cuz then
The
if you keep
time
making
is
excuses,
now.
cuz if you, I feel like if you keep making excuses like then you're going to get a computer and then you're going to say, "Oh, well, I don't have a good enough mic." And then you're going to get a mic and then you're going to say, "Oh, well, I need a different headset." Like, shut the
So
hell
what you're
up.
saying is we
Start
need to
button.
stop giving a mouse a cookie and just do the damn thing.
Just do it. Shia LaBeouf, do it.
God, now that's a callback. So you start streaming, you're doing all of this. Was this becoming kind of a mom, like a mom daughter thing where you guys were like streaming a lot together or?
um, yes and no. So I felt like I kind of knew early on that I wanted to do positive things with my streaming. So like quite literally the very first thing I did after getting affiliated is the very next day I set up just for that evening um a a charity stream
Oh
and
wow.
I played a game um that was to bring Alzheimer's awareness um and it was in a game and it was really interesting because you played as the character with Alzheimer's and you don't even realize it until you start discovering more and more things in the game and it was really sad. Every, Everybody and their mother was crying in chat. I was crying. It was like it was an interesting game and at the time I was still kind of tied to and affiliated with an indie film company and so a lot of them were also kind of in that stream. And we had a really good turnout, and we had a really good amount of money that was donated that evening.
Wow.
And that's where we kind of started. Is that was like literally the first thing I did after getting affiliated.
Ah, damn. So we kick off with that. You just became affiliate. What came next?
Um, I did, here and there stream with my mom. At the time, the position I had in the school district, I had a lot more freedom. Well, yeah, a lot more freedom because I didn't have to work in the summer. Um, I wasn't really traveling a lot at that time, and so I had a lot of time to like stream. And I started teaching myself a little bit more on how to get the bells and whistles, how we can be kind of fancy. I got a capture card and I taught myself how to make overlays
Oh
and
wow.
put them into OBS. That's kind of where I started. Is I started learning like how can I make these things myself and make my own backgrounds and things like that. And then when I started learning that, I had a friend, and she
Mhm.
was going through a really rough patch. And I early on did start making money from Twitch. I think that very first month I had actually got a payout, and I was really surprised. And after like the second and third month of getting a payout, it wasn't really much, but it was it was exciting still because
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to get there. And I went to her and I was like, "Hey, so this might be a long shot, but I think you should try this." And she's like, "I don't even know where to start." And I was like, "But you already play video games." And I said, "I just think that this is a way um, that you can kind of blow off some steam, have fun, play video games. But you can stream, and perhaps this leads to you make money off of it. I was like, I would consider it. She was, like I said, she was going through a rough patch. She was in an abusive situation, and we were trying to find the easiest way to secretly make money so she could pack up and move.
Oh, wow.
And but I completely conspired against her in the way that I didn't tell her that that was my plan. I left off the we make enough money to pack up and get the fuck out. I just
Absolutely.
said, so I said, sometimes we make money and that's kind of cool. And she was like, maybe I will try it. Well, so for a while she was, I mean, she's very personable. Um, she's hilarious and she was really raking it in. I think I helped her get affiliated in about 14 days.
Wow.
And
That's
I
fast too.
and I helped her learn how to use OBS. And we had another friend with us that I helped get affiliated in 11 days, and the three of us would stream together. And we would play Fortnite. We would play Dead by Daylight, and then sometimes we play like a few other games or whatever, just for the tee hee ha ha's. And
Absolutely.
she really started making a decent amount of money, and it was just sitting there, like in Twitch. Like she didn't sink anything to cash it out. And so she's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna finally go ahead and get a bank account. And I was like, this is great news.
So
And
those were
then she
some
got,
very big steps at the time too.
yes. So she got a bank account and she got her first payout, and it was like $1,200.
Wow. I mean,
And
that's massive.
and I was like, this is, a big deal. Like, this is going to be very helpful to you. And then I told her, like, all right, I got to come clean. I wasn't fully honest with you. My hope and my plan this whole time is that you would stockpile some cash that is yours and only yours, and you'll get the fuck out of there.
Well,
And she's
did
like, you know what? That's the move. That's the plan. She, made a little bit more money, and she was able to find a house that she was interested in and, states away. And she was able to secure a work from home job that she could take with her to her new location. She got the fuck out of there.
wow. I mean, it does sound like this was an absolute terrible situation to be in, but Twitch was able to give her the funds and with your help, of course, to get out of that.
Yeah, I was like, girl, I'll fly over there and help you pack. If we just got to throw shit in boxes, I'll do it.
Now, let me ask this though, because you've made it very clear that helping others and really doing a lot for them is one of your driving motivators. And is this something that has always been something that you have behind you? Is this something that you gained over time? Kind of help me out why helping others has been such a huge part of what you do.
I think it's been something that I've kind of always done. Um, I started really getting involved with helping people in the community like since I was 7. So so my father and I a while back we were looking for a church, and we happened upon this church, and he ended up staying there. And they have a thing called an outreach mission, and the purpose of that is in a relatively large congregation of people. um,
You
90 to
must
80%
construct
of the
additional
time, you
pylons.
have stuff that's in your closet that you don't even think about. And um, somewhere across town, there is someone with nothing in their closet and could really use some help, and
Mm.
probably hasn't had a hot meal in a hot minute. And so when I was 7, we went to I guess what was my first outreach mission. And the kind of thing that you do in that situation is everybody from the church meets at a certain location, and we've brought these trailers that have like bags of clothes, bags of shoes. We had built these racks to hold a tremendous amount of clothes,
Yeah.
and we set up, and then we have these really big like oil tankers that have been made into these really big barbecue pits, these smoke pits, and they're on a trailer. Like that's how they were welded. They were, cleaned up. They did all the things, and then they welded them to a trailer for easy transport. And they told you when you get there, they're like, you can help with whatever you want to help with.
You must construct additional pylons.
Whatever you want to do. And I saw the smokers, and I said, well, I want to help there. And my dad was like, girl.
What's that? There's fire?
My dad was
there.
looking at me like, girl, you are like 3 apples tall. How in the hell are you going to reach into
How tall are you at this point? Or, excuse me, how old were you at this point?
I was 7.
Okay. And you saw fire and you're like, that's my spot.
Just like, that's pretty cool. I want to do some cool shit. Because, okay, so realistically, here's the other option, right? So obviously you can cook, right? I was too young to serve because I'm 7. I'm not tall enough for the damn counter. And then the other option, obviously, and I feel like no kid would pick this option, was that you're folding and hanging clothes.
Always fun.
I think I'm going to the pit. So I was like, I want to do that. And my dad was like, no. And the deacons, they're so funny. Like, if you've ever been around a group of deacons, it's like having...
There's got to be a word for that, by the way. Is it like a flock of deacons, a flood of deacons, a dill of deacons?
I don't know, man. We're gonna have to figure it out. But being around a group of deacons is like having multiple dads and uncles at the same time. So like I was like, I want to do that. My dad was like, no. And they're like, yeah, come on over.
Here's some beer, little one.
So then my dad was like, okay. So I was like, yay. And I went over there, and there's a few of the older deacons. They kind of like taught me more or less everything I know about barbecuing and smoking meat on those grills. And now I'm 29, so I've been doing that for 22 years. I do that for every outreach mission. They do one half of the grill, and that's where they do their stuff, and they give me the other tanker by myself that I can do whatever the heck I want to do on it. And so I'll do like 4 turkeys at a time. We'll do some chicken. We'll do some ribs. I'll do the last one we did. I did skirt steak on my side of the grill, so that way I had tacos while we're waiting for like the turkeys to cook. And they were laughing so hard because I am putting tortillas on the grill and flipping them by hand so they're warm. And they're like, she's just having a good time all on her own. And like, I will cook extra stuff because it's hot. We live in Texas, man. It's freaking hot.
Yeah.
And I'll do like extra stuff on the grill that'll be like, okay, I'm already out here in the heat. I'm not going home and making dinner. All right. Like, dinner's going to be on the grill too. We're going to do 2 things at one time.
Kill 2 stones with 1 bird. Caca.
But my problem is I don't want anybody to go hungry.
Absolutely.
And we'll go we'll be cleaning up. We've been out here for like 5-6 hours, and we're at the end, and the trailer has given away everything that we had. Every burger, every hot dog, every shred of smoked turkey. There's nothing else. And it never fails. There is like someone or a group of people a small group of people who are like, we just heard about this event and we were hoping that y'all would still be here when we got here so we can try to get something to eat. But the trailer is empty. There's nothing in the trailer. And I'll be like, you know what? Fuck it. And I will go to my car. I will open my hatchback where I had my pan of pork roast that I was gonna shred later on, and I will give that to them. I don't care. And then my husband will be like, "Well, I thought you told me you put this on the grill and we were gonna have it for dinner." You know what? Somebody else is having it for dinner. It's okay. I'll just pick something up.
Looks like we're getting pizza tonight is what's going on.
Like, well, we'll have something else. Like, I can't. It's not in me. I can't let somebody be hungry.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I've been doing that for like 22 years, and I cook for other events in the church. Just recently, we had a presentation because our church gives money directly to a mission in Haiti, and he did a presentation to kind of show us how things were going. And he brought Haitian food, but he also wanted us to make American food. And so I did some turkeys for that event. We did some hamburgers and some hot dogs, and we broke them turkeys down, put them in a pan so they'd be easy to serve. And then jokers, I feel like I turned my back for a second, and when I came back, the turkey was gone. I was like, y'all, what just happened? I thought I was gonna have some turkey too. You feel me? Like, y'all do me like that? Like, it's gone. I'm like, hey, at least y'all got to eat. So then I was like, well, I'm just gonna have some Haitian mac and cheese since y'all done ate all the turkey. We'll be alright.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's absolutely understandable. Now, I'm kind of curious on this because it sounds like you have always been someone who's extroverted then.
Yeah, yeah, I I don't like people being alone. And I'm the person who will God forbid you be the quiet kid, because here I come to
What's that?
disturb your
Silence?
quietness.
Can't have none of that.
Not on my watch.
Quiche is on the way to save us.
I just, because like obviously, like, yes, I yap, and I do a lot of things that kind of put me out there. Um, but I mean, I have bipolar depression and I have anxiety, and I know that um, there are people with the same diagnosis who are the opposite of me, and they don't talk to anybody. And that's another thing that I'm very very serious about is just because that person seems okay, they don't seem like they're in distress, doesn't mean some shit ain't going down. But that's real.
Absolutely.
Um, I have had, some friends that I've unfortunately lost to suicide, and that was really hard. And in my past, I have a few attempts of my own,
Oh,
and I
wow.
know that people have a stigma when it comes to mental health, and they shouldn't. And I know that's kind of hard to say, and that's why I do speak up a lot about mental health, and I do yap as much as I do, because um, there's someone out there that's reaching, or looking for someone to talk to, and they're just having a hard time making that connection.
And so that's the mission for you, for people who are currently struggling, to be that person who, if they not necessarily talk with, but at least be directed towards someone, or just if they need someone to talk to, you've got them.
Yeah, and I just like that. I was the kid that got in trouble a lot because I I don't like uh people who are mean just for the sake of being mean. Um, and I would get in trouble a lot, especially in middle school, because um, I used to be like, you can't out shit talk me. So if you're gonna, you know, pick on someone and try to make them feel small, and you're gonna tee hee and ha ha about it, um, middle school Keisha is coming for your ass. And the Lord unfortunately made her a full time comedian at a very young age, and so your ass is cooked. Um, I hope you're ready for what's going to come out of her mouth, because she doesn't know what's going to come out her mouth. So
Now, it sounds like you've done a ton, by the way, Ish, because stand-up comedian.
yes,
I think you were mentioning something about actor, actress,
yes, I
actress.
did musical theater and theater.
Yep.
Um, I worked with an indie film studio for a little bit, um, that did horror movies. I'm actually currently in some of their credits. I don't work with them anymore. I'm not really, me and them are not friends. I'll say that. Um, but they're not invited to my birthday party.
Damn.
Um,
You're not getting any of the cake.
but I do have multiple movies from them that my name is in the credits, but it's my maiden name. So
Yeah, like, I'm
there it
just sitting here being like,
is.
hot damn, you got to do a little bit of everything. You were acting, you do stand-up comedy. Next, we're gonna find out you're writing like dressage in the whenever you're not doing the rest.
No, I did try to do some script writing, um, and I put it on the back burner, just because at the time, um, that same said film company was like, "Hey, can I have that?" And I was like,
What do you
"No."
mean by just have that?
Like, how about no? And they're like, "But it sounds cool, and we want that." And I was like, "Great, then write your
Then
own.
pay. Then pay.
Pay or write your own. How about that?" and then we did a lot of we had a love hate relationship, I guess. And then it was a hate relationship, and then I was like, all right, I'm out of here. I think I'm good on this.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's at that time I was kind of learning um, that it's okay to pull your hand away from the stove when it's hot.
Wait. You don't just keep on burning yourself to burn
No,
yourself?
no, no. Take your hand away. You can hear it sizzling.
But doesn't that just mean we hold on tighter just to
No. Sometimes instead of holding on, the comfort comes from letting go.
I'm
Um,
sorry. That was well, can I get that one more time?
I just I just feel like, you know, I'm serious. Like sometimes like I feel like we put a lot of stress on ourselves as people, and there's a video, I'll have to find it and send it to you later, Chaos, but um they did it in the sense of a relationship, like a dating relationship.
Mhm.
But I think it really works for anything that um, you can find. And I know it's scary, you know, because you're like, what do you mean I have to let go of this? I don't want to let go. Like, what if I get hurt because I let go? But sometimes the comfort is in letting go. You let go of that burden and you free yourself up for something else. I can't carry a rock on my back and be like, oh my God, my back hurts. I need help. And I don't get rid of the rock. And that's the problem.
Absolutely.
And, I had a really hard time during that time because I um, was constantly kind of trained to be like, oh, you're doing great. You're doing all of these things. You're doing exactly what we want, but we're still not going to cast you. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? And for a while, that was the mentality is, what am I doing wrong? Why aren't they picking me?
Ooh.
And what else can I do so I can be casted. I don't understand. I'm winning their acting competitions. I'm being paid earnings for winning those competitions. But when it's time for casting, I'm not being casted. Why not? What did I do? What did I not do? And so I really took a mental hit for a while. And um, near the end of me being with this group,
Mhm.
there was something happening locally, and I kind of was a little bruised still. I was kind of angry, and um, a friend of mine, she said, you should um, audition for this. It's local, and it seems pretty easy. It seems pretty self-explanatory. There's not really a form you have to fill out. They're just telling people to show up. And I was like, girl, you doing that shit? No, like I was upset. And um and then like last minute I went, you know what? I'll do it. And I was like, and I will prove that it's the same and nobody's casting me because I'm not good enough. Like I went in with that mentality. I'm proving that
Yes.
I'm not good enough. And I went to this audition and it was really hard. And I was a little scared because once again, I was uh, in an audition where I didn't look like anyone there. And I had that pit in my stomach and I was like, I should just leave now. I shouldn't audition. I should
Mm.
leave now. And I was about to walk out the door and somebody went, "Oh my God, is that Keisha?" And I was like, fuck, no, I gotta be here.
Damn, they recognize me.
And I turned, and funny enough, it was my old Avid tutor. And he's like, "Oh my God. I remember when you were just a fetus many moons ago, and look at you, like you're grown, you're at this audition." And then he said something that really stuck with me. And he
Yeah.
said, "This is exactly what you told me you wanted to do in high school."
Mm.
And I was like, damn, this is what I said I wanted to do in high school. And here I am about to walk out the door without even trying because I saw the people around me and decided that I wasn't good enough. And I was like, okay, you know what? And I told him, I said, hey, honestly, I was about to freaking head out the door, man. And he's like, what? No, this is exactly what you said you wanted to do. Like, you're not even gonna try. And he was like, when you were in high school, you used to say all the time, your mom didn't raise a bitch. Take the form. And I was like, you're right. My mom didn't raise a bitch. And so I'm filling out the form. And so I'm filling out the form. And and he's like, joking around and stuff. And I said, I'm still not gonna get casted. And so that day, they did multiple like things. So they had to do a monologue, you had to sing a song, they gave you lines, and you had to, as difficult as that was for the character that I unfortunately chose, the scene starts in like full argument, full anger. And so that's really hard to channel just off rip. And so I thought for sure I botched it. I
Yeah.
didn't make it. And I don't know how well y'all know this person, but on, I think it was America's Got Talent, there was a woman named Rose Short, and she did really well. She's a phenomenal singer. She goes on tours and stuff like that. She does events.
Isn't she the one who sang "I Dreamed a Dream" and such?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Because I just remember no one expected her to come in and just absolutely belt that out.
Yes. And so what was really scary about this audition is because I came in half-assed, I didn't pay attention to who was writing the show.
Oh no.
And when I got onto the stage to audition, I'm staring Rose square in the face. And I was like,
Who's that person?
like, like what, you know? And so, and then they gave like background. She's like, yeah, me and there was another lady with her named Tony. They're like, we wrote this show, and we wrote
Wow.
this show as like we want to give um a look into real lives. And the purpose of the show is that there's different couples, different family dynamics in written in the show, different characters and people, but all of them are going through a struggle. But they're so enveloped in their own little bubble that the other people and families around them that they're very familiar with, um, they don't see the hurt and the pain and everything else that everybody else is going through. And
Absolutely.
so, funny enough, I go home and I'm like, well, I'm not getting a call back. Good night, everyone. And and I go to sleep and I wake up to so many messages of people that I hadn't spoken to in years, of people that I had spoken to, you know, that day that I was like, oh, I'm not going to get casted. And they're blowing up my phone. And I'm like, yo, what is happening? And I open Facebook, and the first post I see is a callback list from them. And I'm on the callback list. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, no way. I was like, oh, I'm just going to go to this callback, and then they're going to decide they don't need me, right? Wrong. I get there that night, and they're like, hey, we're so glad you can make it. We called you in for callbacks, but we want you to know that you already have a role.
Ah,
This is
damn.
us officially telling you that you've been casted. And I was like, there's no freaking way, dude. There's no freaking way. And they're like, the character that you auditioned for yesterday is the character we are giving you. But we want you to, I guess, in a way, be the example or coach these other actors during callbacks so we can see where we can put them. So my character has a husband, and so they had to figure out who that person was going to be, who was going to be that guy. And
Absolutely.
so they told me, like, really lean into him, really push his buttons, really really try to piss him off, right? And because they're arguing, and it's supposed to be like, it gets to the point where it gets really tense, and it almost seems like he might swing.
Oh wow.
And so, and they made me do, like, you know, every other actor that's there is watching, and I'm just like, every male person they put in my path to be this character, I'm just like really, you know, nitpicking, really like driving it in. And funny enough, out of the woodwork, my avid tutor from way back when is now selected, and he is the person I really got to, you know, push buttons on. And um and for a moment it was so funny because by then I had already learned the lines of this scene. I had done it so many times that I had kind of like set the paper down, just, you know, so I could be more agitating to him. And it was so funny because um he also acts, and he's done movies here and there. And um right when he's supposed to like act like he might swing or something, they stop us, and they're like, perfect.
Now, see, that's what you
Perfect.
love to hear.
And I
It's
was
a
like,
wrap.
well, and I was scared because prior to me being up there, I had watched them like, and it's like, when you write a show, it's your baby. right? And you don't
Yeah.
want anybody messing up anything. And so they were watching other people act out these characters, and they were being very rough with them. They're like, no, that's not how I want it done. I want it like this, or you need to be more like that. And one lady, they got so annoyed with her, they were like, just forget it. We'll call somebody else.
Oh,
And I
damn.
was like,
So they were not being sparing of anyone.
and so then they called my name, and I was like, no, Lord, please, no.
Oh, they're angry. Why do I have to go in the crosshairs?
And I was like, no, no, thank you. No, please. I was like, can I just, fall through the floor right now, please? And then, and every time I had gone up, I didn't get my head ripped off. And sure enough, 2 days later, they actually came out with their official list, and I was casted, and I was really surprised. And then it kind of made me realize, like, man, this whole time that I was working with this film company thinking something was wrong with me, and there's nothing wrong with me.
See, I love that. So was this the shift you needed to go from what's wrong to me to the fuck is wrong with them?
I think I started looking at things a lot differently. Um, and that's where I was kind of like, man, like I'm over here worrying about this kind of stuff and like trying to figure out like what I can do better, and there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. It's eventually and sadly enough, I was starting to see a prejudice, and I was like, oh, I get it now. And with that, I will take my leave. And they tried to say that I was dramatic, that I was um, kind of being a baby about it. And then when that didn't work, it was, well, you're just being an angry black woman. And I was like, thank you. Because at least that means that you understand that you can't treat me any kind of way and think it's okay. So I'll
I
take
love this
it.
because you went from being like, you went from I will do anything I can to prove myself to you to nope, you do not, this is done. And you
Yeah,
stood up for yourself and set that boundary.
yeah, because I was like, that's so crazy. Like the moment I'm not shucking and jiving and doing what you want me to do, now I am a problem. But when I was the mouthpiece for your organization, when I was, the person doing all of your Google Sheets for decisions that people were making, when I was helping coordinate getting people to your location, I wasn't a problem. But when I tell you, like, I'm not gonna, just do this little song and dance, um, now it's a problem. Now I am the problem.
Absolutely. Now, I actually want to take this to where we're at currently today, because it sounds like you learned a big lesson on setting boundaries and especially kind of curating who you want around you.
Hmm.
So, I guess what are the boundaries that you decide to set up? What are the things that you're curating today that you have found has been successful for you as a streamer?
Um, I know we say it a lot as streamers, um, to like take a break, to rest. I'm still learning a very hard lesson on that. I have a hard time in general taking a break for myself or just taking a break in general. And as of January, I kind of have to. I'm learning a very hard lesson in that. Um, and you sometimes you can't
You
fight
must
your
construct
body.
additional pylons.
Absolutely.
um, and I think that even like now, I do try to set boundaries around that. And sometimes I do try to push past that fatigue, um,
Hmm.
because I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, I'm sore. Or like, yeah, I'm having another migraine because We're still figuring out a brain tumor, but I want to, I still want to keep pushing. I don't want to be, um, I don't want to just kind of give up. Because I feel like at the beginning it was really easy to be like, well, this is it. I'm not doing shit anymore. And that's not helpful. And,
The rage quit does not always work out. Gotcha.
and, and I do feel like that also helped me set boundaries. Because I say this a lot. Like, I say this at work, I say this at church, I say this all the time. I'm like, dude, we got bigger fish to fry. Like, I don't, not to be like a butthead, but like, I don't, I don't have room. I don't have the space, for the negativity. Um, again, I'm all for the tee hee ha ha's. If you run up in my space and think you're gonna,
You must
talk
construct
crazy,
additional pylons.
you can attempt it, but I'm a very unserious being.
What I think I
And
just heard
I
from there
will
is
heckle.
that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him.
I'm a heckler, so like, people can come in and talk their talk, but I also will talk my talk, and not in a way that's like menacing or anything, because it's the internet, you guys. Internet thugs, come on now. But
Wait, are you suggesting that internet tough guys are not actually tough guys at IRL?
no, see me in the street, dog. Like, what? Don't talk crazy to me. Talk crazy to me IRL. I bet you won't. I'm a lunatic. I talk crazy in general.
With
But
all
like,
powers combined.
I've had people who come in my chat like after a Fortnite match, and I'm like, dog, it's Fortnite. Why are you so serious? And try to like throw insults, and I'll be like, thanks for stopping by, and thank you for helping my revenue, and I'll run ads. Now you got it.
Congratulations. Welcome to all the ads for Red Robin.
Be salty while you listen to this Taco Bell. Like, get out of here. Like, you came in here to try to be negative, and now you're boosting my revenue. Thank you a lot. I
Nice.
appreciate you. Because I think it's funny. Like, you're gonna be mad, and I'm running ads. I'm getting spare change right now from your anger.
I mean, that's a
penny
win.
for your thoughts.
Our thoughts, comrade. So
I'm
it.
like,
Please.
That's just how I kind of see it. It's like, you ultimately decide how you feel about a situation, and you ultimately decide how you respond to a situation. I work in high school, and some of our kids will say, well, he made me mad. No, you allowed yourself to be mad because they did something you didn't like. You could have been like, it is what it is, dog. But instead, you decided to lay hands for anything but prayer, and now I have to write you up.
And trouble. I mean, no, that makes a lot of sense, though. Because again, it seems like oftentimes your strategy is kind of hoist them up by their own petard, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that you have freedom to act up until your actions start being an a-hole to someone else. And then that's when consequences happen.
Yeah, I'm like, I can take it, you're not like, they hated on Jesus. So like, I'm no better than Jesus. They had beef with him. People gonna have beef with me too. Like, and I just feel like, in a space that is mine, i.e. my Twitch channel, I don't have to put up with that.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like sometimes, especially as people start out streaming, I think that we think, oh, because this person is in my chat, I have to be over accommodating to them. No. If the rules are if the rules are that they need to take their shoes off in their house, they need to take their shoes off in your house. That's
Absolutely.
your house, your rules. And the same thing should be with your Twitch channel. If there's something that you are not okay with, you don't have to allow it to be so. You can get rid of that. It doesn't need to be there. If that's
See,
not something that you want to represent you, it needs to be purged.
I love that because the thing that I really have been working on myself is that it's the room you're making.
Mhm.
And if something's making you uncomfortable, sometimes the person doesn't intend to be, by the way. But if it's still making you uncomfortable, I still think it's okay to act.
Yeah. You don't have to wait to see what else happens. You don't have to give them a second chance. If you don't like it, get rid of it.
And there we go. Now, Kesh, I want to. Damn it, Quiche! Quiche, damn
It's
it!
the same.
I was so close, damn it! Oh, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to look a little bit here in the future as well, because I don't know where you would like to see your channel get to, or if there are specific goals, because you've talked about helping people specifically, not only people that are on Twitch and such, but also IRL and such. Like, where do you want to go with what you're doing right now?
I want to keep helping people. I don't really know um, what that would look like as of right now. Um, but I still, I still want to help people. I do offer making things for people for free. I've made like 10 different sets of banners for people for their channels. I've made raid screens for people. And I do it for free because I know what it's like to start out and not know where to begin. And um, Twitch is just like any other social media platform. Image does a lot even when you're offline. And so I try to help people in that. Um, and in general, I just want to help any way that I can. Um, sometimes people just want to have something on in the background so that way they don't feel as alone, and that's cool too. I'll yap, I don't care. um I also want, like, there's certain things that I bring awareness to for the longest time, and it's not currently on my channel because um the organization is going through some changes, and
Okay.
so they're kind of redoing their web footprint. But I also help with an organization called Arc to Freedom. And they're local to the area that I'm in. And Arc to Freedom is an organization that works in human trafficking prevention.
Oh, wow.
And my stepmother is the first Black woman to spearhead this organization. She's not the first director, but she's the first Black woman currently. And she really works hard for that organization. And she didn't just stop there. Like, she retired and then she went back to school, and then she met someone who was the director of this organization initially. And when they stepped down, they said, "Hey, I think she should take over." And she was like, "I don't fully know a lot about this, but I'm willing to give it a try." And she's been the director for quite some time, but she does not know how to sit down somewhere. Um, so she she's the director of the organization. She is also an adjunct professor for a university in New York. She does her
Wow.
classes remotely. But while she's also doing those two things, she's also working on her doctorates. And then while doing all three of those things, she is also the youth minister of our church, which I also do help with our youth as well. Um, they're a pretty funny group of kids. Sometimes I want to give them a knuckle sandwich. Um, but they're pretty funny kids. And when we first got them, maybe almost 5 years ago, like they had never really been to church,
Mhm.
and they are all foster kids, and so a lot of them never really had a birthday, never really had a birthday present. They never like got to go to like a football game or a sleepover or anything like that, or go to the movies. And so uh, we as a group of youth leaders decided we would start kind of going down the list of things they've never done, and we would start doing those things.
Very
And
nice.
I remember vividly, we had one young man who his birthday was coming up. He was turning 13. And that's a very big deal. You're in your teenage years. That's exciting. But again, he had never had a birthday, and he'd never had a birthday cake.
Oh,
And
wow.
his foster mom told us that she was going to throw him a party. And we're like, great, let us know. Like, we'll bring presents, we'll stop by, whatever, whatever. She never reached out to us. And then when we saw him again the following week, I said, hey, how did your birthday go? And he looked so sad. He goes, I didn't have a birthday party.
Oh.
And I was like, did you have a birthday cake? And he's like, no. And I was like, what did you get for your birthday? And he just kind of shrugged. And I was like, absolutely not. I will not let that be. And that Saturday was supposed to be like a super Saturday. So we do a lot of stuff for the kids. And I was like, we're going to have a freaking birthday party on that day. I don't care if I have to go into debt for a freaking birthday cake because I'm broke as hell, but I'm buying a birthday cake. And so I did. I bought a birthday cake, and then I bought a crap ton of cupcakes, and I got him a gift, and my stepmom got him a gift, and a few more people got him gifts, and he really liked Spider-Man at the time, and so I got like this custom made Spider-Man cake, and I told him,
Oh.
this is your cake. Nobody can take this cake from you because it is your birthday and it's your birthday cake. And he was like, and he was super sweet. Now he's a little grumpy because he's angsty and he's like 17. But and he's like, well, what about everyone else? And I was like, everybody else gets a cupcake, but this is your cake for
Oh.
you. And we've had them for like forever. And some of our kiddos, they come and go depending on why they're currently in foster care. Um,
Mm.
and so it depends because some of them have some real sad stories. Like they're in foster care because both parents are incarcerated for drugs, and they're waiting for them to not be incarcerated and to go through a program to show that they can take care of their kiddos. And unfortunately, some of those kiddos stay in foster care because the parents don't do those programs or they don't do right. It just, really depends on the circumstance. Um, but I feel like, with them and just in general, like any way that I can help is
Mm.
what I want to do. I feel like um, sometimes I might care a little too much or help a little too much, but can't help it. Like that's always kind of been my thing is I want to help. Like I don't have like the best life circumstances. I got my own issues that I'm still navigating through, but if I can help someone, I will do that.
Absolutely. So let me ask this then, because it sounds like you have a lot going on IRL as well. Is Twitch kind of sometimes your way of relaxing? Is it kind of your way of doing more? How do you kind of view Twitch versus URL versus IRL?
Um, I think sometimes Twitch kind of helps me with pain management, as funny as that sounds, because I do have a lot of medications that are for pain, and I don't want to take them all the time. Sometimes they just, I have one that looks like a freaking horse pill, and I don't want to take that all the time. Um, and some of those medications are really strong. Like, and I'm sure some people have probably heard me say this on stream before. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'm having a migraine, and I'll look at the time and be like, okay, what time is it? Oh, it's like 10:30. You know what? I'm gonna take this medicine. I literally have it right here.
Not that we
Just
can see, it's all blurred out, so.
But and I'll tell like my friends that I'm playing with, like, all right, I'm taking this medicine. We have 30 minutes, right? Like, I know, because that some of those medications are really rough, and
Oh, yeah.
and so I'll be like, hey, fair warning, dog. If I start not making sense, it's the medicine.
See, I
we're
wish I could blame the
navigating.
medicine, but for me, it's just me going insane.
Because sometimes I think I would prefer the insanity. Um, like um, a lot of people know by now. At first, I didn't really say anything about it because um, I felt like if I ignored it, it would go away, and that's definitely not how brain tumors work. Um, I was having a lot of like weird issues last year, May, um, and I kind of went to our school clinic, and I was like, "Hey, I need to borrow your blood pressure cuff. Like, something just feels wrong." And they were like, "Sure, yeah, that's what we're here for." And my blood pressure was 236 over 189.
Holy moly. I don't think I've never heard of anyone's blood pressure over 200, period.
Yeah. So they're like, "Girl, you need a hospital."
Are you sure you're not part hummingbird?
I maybe, who knows? And they're like, "You need to go to the hospital." And I was like, "No, I'm fine. Like, I just feel a little
Listen,
weird.
I'll
Like, we're
walk it
good."
off. It'll be
Yeah.
okay.
And then I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, "We get out of work in like 30 minutes. It's fine. It's
So
great."
tell me, did they go ahead and like just a little tap upside the head being like, no, or what happened with that?
So they snitched on me.
Understandable. They are mandatory reporters.
So they were like, "No, like, you need to leave." And I was like, "No, like, the day is almost over. Like, we're fine." Well, so then they told on me, and so I was walking back to my desk, like into the front office, and I see my coworker on the phone, and she's like staring at me, and I'm like, "Who is she on the phone with?" It's the clinic, and they're snitching on me. They're telling her what my blood pressure is, and I was like, "What? What happened to HIPAA? Like, I thought you weren't supposed to tell that information." And she's like, you need to leave, like, now. And she's like shoving my backpack at me. She's like, I have a hook that I keep my keys on.
Yep.
She's like snatching my keys off the hook and shoving them in my hand, and she locks my computer, and she's like, "Get the fuck out of here." She's like, "I'm gonna tell them that you need to leave now." And so then she went over to our principal and our principal secretary and told them, like, I need to leave. And I never leave. So they were like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." They don't care.
Yeah.
And it was the end of the day, so like, who cares? And so I went to the hospital, and there was like, it was really funny. Like, I don't know why this was the case, but like, all the nurses were sitting at like the check-in, and it's like encased in glass, and they're all looking at me, and I looked pretty normal. I didn't look like there was something wrong with me, but that's how blood pressure works. It's a silent killer.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What can we do for you?" And I had my blood pressure on a sticky note, and I was like, "Yeah, I got forced to come here because this is my blood pressure." And they went, "What?"
Crash card stat.
And they're like, are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, we just took it like 10 minutes ago." And they're like, "You're going to triage." And so, like, instead of waiting in the waiting room, I didn't know why they were rushing. Like, I was just like, "It's just blood pressure." And
Listen,
they're like,
I'm supposed to be a blood fountain, right? When I do this, it just shoots little like rockets of blood. That's all.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
so
fine.
They sat me in a wheelchair immediately, and they're taking my blood pressure again. And I'm like, it's fine now, right? And he's like, no. And he, like, they have, this is really dramatic. They have like this
Yeah.
red phone in the triage room.
Wait. They called the president on you because your
Yes,
blood pressure was that high?
I guess I was causing
Mr.
danger.
President,
They're like,
prepare the nukes.
yeah. So he's like on the phone and he's talking to somebody back there. I don't know. And he's like, yeah, do y'all have a bed ready? I have a woman with hypertension. We need to get her in a bed now. And um, and I guess they said yes. And then he was like, okay, great. I'm gonna send her down. And I was gonna get up from the chair, and he was like, no. You stay in chair. We push you down. So we it was so weird because that's how blood pressure is. It doesn't seem like something is wrong, but there's definitely something wrong.
Mhm.
And so then from there, bunch of tests were ran. They couldn't figure out what in the hell was wrong with me. They were just happy that there were no cardiac enzymes, meaning that I'm not having a heart attack. And I was responsive. I could raise my arms, and so I wasn't having a stroke. Um, and so they were like, okay, if we can get your blood pressure down, we're going to send you home. And they could. Then they said, you need to be on blood pressure meds. And as that went on, I was seeking out a new primary care, and I got a new primary care so I could get those medications refilled. And he's like, well, since you're new to our practice, we're going to run some more tests. And every time he did tests, he was like, these don't look right. We need to send you somewhere else. And then I would go to a specialist, and that specialist was like, I don't really know what's going on. And then they send me to another specialist, and this specialist found something but didn't tell me, and just said, here, take this medicine. And that's kind of around that point, January, February of this year. And I kind of went, okay, I'll be obedient. I'll take the medicine. And I started taking the medicine, and immediately I was dropping things all the time. I was having a little bit of difficulty walking. I was really unsteady.
Yep.
My vision was affected. Sometimes I was a little nauseous. And I was like, what is this medicine? Like, what is going on? And I went back to my primary care, and I said, hey, maybe you can help me figure this out. I was put on this medication. I don't know what it's for. Nobody seemed to really tell me what it's for. But I'm having all of these issues, and I feel like I smell smoke, like somebody's smoking a cigarette next to me. And
Does anyone else
obviously
smell
it's
burnt
not good.
toast?
Like, it was weird. And I brought the pill bottle with me, and he looks at the pill bottle, and he's like, she didn't tell you what this is for? And I'm like, no, she just told me to take it. And I have a 3-month supply. Like, I don't know what this is for. And he's like, this medication shrinks a brain tumor. I'm like, what? And he's like, all of the issues you're having is because your brain has to now adjust because we're shrinking a brain tumor. And
how does that work out that they'd never explain that you have the tumor?
she was not great.
I
she
mean,
did a lot of
yes,
weird things.
very evidently, but you would think there'd be some conversation being like, this
Yeah.
is why we're doing this.
Yeah, no, it was just take this medicine because your labs are a little wonky, and my labs were wonky because we got a brain tumor. And but it was like, okay, we know that, and I thought like we would get somewhere else with that. And for a while we didn't. And it was because she was supposed to assist further, and she did not. She did a terrible job. Boo her. But I had to wait a really long time for an endocrinologist. And I mean, I when I tell you a long time, I mean a long time. Like, remember, we figured out this brain tumor business January, February. and I got put in to see an endocrinologist, but they were so booked up. I just saw them last month.
Oh wow, so this is fairly recent.
Yeah, and she's running more tests right as we speak. Like today, this morning, I got some labs back that I had turned in last week. So we can figure out what the plan is, and
Okay.
so I've been kind of like warning my husband, like, hey, um, I have a brain scan in October, so they can kind of see what it looks like, and it looks like the goal, based on the test that I have had done, is I think that they're gonna push for a surgery. And my husband's like, you're so unserious, because I keep telling him I'm gonna be Egyptian, and he's like, girl, what? Because I'm a big history nerd,
Yep, when they make the
and
mummies.
yeah, so when they
I
make
know
the
where you're going
mummies,
with that.
they go through the nose, and that's how they're gonna take out the tumor, and it's just gonna look like somebody punched me in both my eyes, um, and then there will be a lot of maintenance after that, a
Yes.
lot of adjustments, and it will be okay. And I told my husband, like, hey, for a warning, they're taking away, the part of me that's responsible for, generating the appropriate hormones for my body. And so they warn you, like, hey, when you get this surgery, um, don't do anything that's going to piss you off, essentially.
Fair.
Because you're going to be like the Incredible Hulk. Everything's going to piss you off.
So
Like, you're
inhibitions
gonna
are
be
going to
mad.
be even smaller than they were before.
And so I'm like, man, how crazy, I'm thankful that, all unfortunate events aside, I'm thankful that we are getting to a point where we're figuring it out. And it does take time, and I'm learning how to take a break when I'm tired or I feel fatigued, because it's not, just a normal fatigue. There's something wrong. There's a
Yeah.
little situation going up there. And teaching myself to be patient with myself. And
It's a big ask, though. It's such a big
oh,
ask.
and sometimes you just gotta hurry up and wait.
Exactly. Well, here's the other thing I want to ask, because Keish, when you're talking about all this, like, you're cracking jokes, you're having a good time, and it seems like whenever something serious is happening, your first response is to lean into your comedy, to kind of go back to your stand-up, to be like, ah, jokes.
Yeah. I just it's no fun to be bummed out, um and like people at work who kind of are aware of me not feeling great, um they'll be like, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I'll be like, as okay as it can be. I can't change it. Um, I can't take it away. Um, and kind of being bummed out isn't going to help. Um, it's I have really worked hard for a while, and I still kind of am working on this because I'm in therapy for this as well. On
Mm.
focusing on what I can control. Um, I think I spent a lot of time really like worrying about things that I can't control, and it doesn't help. Because no matter how hard you think about it, it ain't gonna go nowhere. Like you can't change it. Um, I can't
Absolutely.
I can't think a tumor out of my brain. It's not gonna work.
Wouldn't it
You
be
must
nice if it
construct
did,
additional
though? If you could
pylons.
just be like, and it's gone.
It doesn't exist. I know. I've already tried that.
Just a minute, I got
Um,
this.
Gone.
Did it work?
No. But and you know, funny enough, in a way, I kind of did try that. I thought if I ignored it, if I didn't think about it, or I tried not to think about it, if I didn't tell anybody about it, um, if I didn't explain to people close to me why I was nauseous all the time, and why I couldn't hang out and do the things that we normally do. Um, that if I just didn't say anything, that I would be better off that way. And that's
Mm.
not how it works. And it kind of comes back to what we were talking about earlier about, you know, when someone isolates themselves, and you know, reaching out to talk to that person. I was, for a little bit of time this year, I was angry. Um, I felt like I was just really having a hard time, and I was really frustrated, and I was kind of like, "Hey, yo, this is some bullshit." Like, of all the things that could happen to a person, like the
You must
universe
construct
has the
additional
audacity to
pylons.
grant me a brain tumor. Like, that's not on my bingo card. That wasn't. I didn't want to. I didn't put in a lottery ticket to win a brain tumor.
This is not a
Um,
buy one get one free moment, y'all.
like I was like, dude, like I have, again, we have bigger fish to fry. I was mad, you know, I was a little salty about it. Um,
I mean, I think you can. I think you should be a little salty about it, honestly. Because
but
yes,
it's just, you know, like I had to learn, like, being angry doesn't do anything except raise my blood pressure that we can't afford to raise. Um, and you know, like, it's just, you know, you I feel like it's so easy to focus on the negative. Um, and it was so easy to be grumpy about everything, um, and I was missing out on things that really mattered. Like, I was frustrated about this brain tumor, but I had, you know, my nephew was just born, and he's so cute. He's 9 months now, and and I was, you know, so frustrated at first, and I realized, like, there were so many other buckets that I could pour into. Like, I didn't have to
oh,
choose the angry one. Like, there were other things that I could turn my attention to in a healthy way. Um, and so I started, you know, the journey of therapy, and I talk about this on stream as well, um, because I do think that it helped, and I do think that it helps, and I do encourage other people to do it. Which kind of goes back to, you know, helping people. Like, sometimes the help that you can give somebody is giving them the resources to do better, and to kind of pull themselves out of that rut. Like, maybe you can't reach your hand in there, but you can offer a rope, and it's their responsibility to climb out of that.
as I
There's only
listen,
so much that you can do.
as I listen a little more and more, it feels like to help you reach out to help others, and through that help yourself on that.
Yeah, because um, I feel like you can't tell somebody um, to get help and you won't help yourself.
I mean, we've talked about this multiple times, but you have to go and secure your mask first
Yes,
before you can do that to anyone else.
because it doesn't help if you know, you're not helping yourself. You can't encourage someone to do better, and you're not doing better, and you're
By
not
the
trying
way,
to do better.
Keish, we wish you luck on the surgery. I don't know when that's going to be coming through, but
It'll be a while. I think we got time. We'll be fine.
perfect.
uh, we'll be alright.
Well, please let me know when you do so, because again, we'll try to support you how we can and such. But I want to rewind for a second here, because you're talking about helping others specifically. And so I'd like to know if there is some advice that you can give, not necessarily for new streamers and such, but something to kind of be like, if you could send your message out to everyone, what is something you would remind them, or something that you would try to have them know?
I think the biggest thing, and I see this a lot, um, is you don't have to try to be someone else. Um, I see it a lot of times in well established streamers. I see it in new streamers. It kind of, I feel like it kind of hits everyone. Um, that they kind of see what they think is something that works, and um, instead of making their own thing, they're shaving off pieces of themselves to fit into the cookie cutter mold. And um, it pays to be authentic. I feel like when you stream as yourself, you are more comfortable because you know how to be you. You know your personality. You know how you are. Um, if you are trying to be someone else, you don't really know that person. Um, you don't know what they got going on. You know what you can see and what they make visible to you, but you don't know them. You don't know like what else they have going on. You're seeing the the version that they are presenting to you, and you are uh and then if you try to be a carbon copy of that, it's incomplete. Why? Because you only are seeing that part of that person. That's not a
Absolutely.
full, that's not a full, thing. And that's what kind of my thing is I really encourage everyone to be themselves. You don't have to be like everyone else. You don't have to try to copy a certain method or react this way because it presents itself as trendy. Because that's the thing about trends. They fall off. They expire.
Absolutely.
They don't last. Everybody was doing reactions. Do people do reactions anymore? No.
Oh
You
shit,
know,
there goes my plan for the next channel. But
like
no,
I mean,
please, after you.
like, because um, if and this is the thing, is like you see this and you're chasing after it, and if you are chasing after it, you're already late to it.
Mm. See, I love what you're saying here. And the reason specifically vibes is because I'll be honest, guys, I would not make a great vibes. I would not make a great Walt. I would not make a great gravy, but I do make a great chaos sets.
Yeah.
That said, I don't think the world is ready for two of me. But yes, that is just some golden like advice there. Be yourself, because I do think it's really easy to put yourself kind of on a stage, and instead of acting as the person you are,
Mm.
you just kind of throw yourself in there and you go, how should this thespian actually perform this shock? Versus just
Literally
taking it as it
the early
is.
2000s YouTube thumbnail. Exactly.
I mean, it's exactly that, though. It's overplayed, and I think you're right. The reason that I agree with you, especially on this, is because when it comes to authenticity, I'm always looking for it on here. And I don't know if you're doing the same and such, because if I don't feel like it's authentic, it's like, cool, enjoy. Now,
Yeah, I've
guys,
had
oh,
that
please go
happen
ahead.
with a few people. Like, I come across some people that I think could do really well, and I try to befriend them, and then I watch them be a totally different person, and I'm like, no, I no, and it kind of is a bummer sometimes, because like in like certain situations, it's like they turn into an asshole, like, unfortunately, and I'm like, who is this guy? Like 2 seconds ago you were this guy who was, trying to get affiliated, and we were helping you out, and you got affiliated, and now you're trying to shit on us, and it's like, where did that come from, dog? Like, remember when you were at like 2 followers? Like, remember that? Like, it can happen to anybody, like, you can't. I feel like some people, they really like turn into another person,
Oh,
and not in a good way.
absolutely.
Like, I don't know. I've always been, um, a hater, if you will, of people who uh, take the first opportunity they can to shit on another person. I don't think that's okay.
Absolutely.
It's not for me. That's not my vibe. That can be somebody else's vibe. It's not my vibe.
And that's the other thing too, is like you can find what you're looking for. And in that case, good luck. Now, guys, I'm going to turn this. Actually, let me do this first. Vibes, is there anything else you would like to go ahead and kind of talk about or bring up that we haven't already?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, what I'm going to do then is we're going to open this up over to chat. Let me just kind of come on over here. And chat, if you do have questions here for Vibes, if there's something specifically, questions, comments, concerns, bad stories, as I'm just kind of looking through very quickly, Leo the Madman, I see she's helped me a lot too. And Cam's frozen and you sound
Oh,
robotic.
no.
Uh-oh.
It's probably mine because my OBS is taking a dump on itself right now.
Uh-oh. Well, if you need to go ahead and do something there, like we'll keep an eye. But yes, I do see that at the moment.
Oh, no.
If you need to end or do something, like we'll keep going over here on this side too.
Yeah, I'm gonna end on my end since OBS is angry.
Okay, so guys, if you do want to pop on over here, we're going to be continuing the interview, obviously. And if you are not currently following VibesWKesh, absolutely go ahead and do so, guys, because amazing person, amazing streamer, but almost natural has a very important question.
Okay.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I guess as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck, if Chuck Norris allows.
Damn, relevant. Rest in peace. Well, good. I really want to talk about this, Vibes, because like you're really excited to bring people in, and it feels like, how do you personally decide to go ahead and handle trolls or people who kind of try to go ahead and pull the mood out for, take the carpet out from underneath you?
I don't give them a lot of attention. I think that a lot of times that that people who do that are just looking for attention, and um, if you give them that, then they will keep doing it because that's what they want. They want a reaction out of you. Um, they want it to kind of throw you off your game. I had a situation last year actually. I'm sure Mark remembers this because I was
Pizza
streaming
Mark,
Mark.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Pizza Mark, if you guys don't know, is the person who is running Pizza Party, the Discord and community portion. Anyway, you were saying.
So we he was doing a community night, and we were streaming together during that community night, and this huge bot swarm happened. And I'm just a baby. I I'm figuring things out, stream wise and moderation wise, and I do have other moderators, but for the most part, people got their own stuff going on. So usually I'm a one woman show,
Of
and
course.
and it was really scary. I felt like I was going to shit a brick. I'm not going to lie to you. I was having a heart attack while handling the situation. Um, but me and him were dealing with bots, and he has a moderation team, and they're phenomenal people. They do a really good job of responding hella fast. Um, and so they're dealing with his stuff, and I'm dealing with mine, and I'm sweating bullets, and but
It's hard to handle that during the stream
on
and such.
yes, but on camera, I was just oh, it's fine. Oh, it is what it is. Um, and then I had made the executive decision because people were getting kind of crazy, to end the stream and continue to deal with said situation.
Yes.
And Mark, as a protection, he booted me from the voice channel for a split second. So that way he could get these people out of there and things like that. And then we were able to reconvene almost immediately. And I felt like I had done a terrible job of figuring this out. And and he was like, you did a really good job handling that. And I felt like, dude, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Like, this is crazy. Like I'm, freaking the freak out. And it was so funny because a lot of his moderators were like, no, like as a one woman show, like that was a very fast response time. And I was really, I was like, man, like, I was onto something. And then the next day, Twitch went, you want to see a magic trick?
Really? What did Twitch
And
do? Did they make the
they
pencil
locked
disappear?
they locked my account.
They locked your account?
And I, like, my chest tightened and I was freaking out. And I went, wait. We're not gonna panic. We're not gonna panic. It's real easy
But
to
what
panic.
if we just did a little Panic at the Disco? Just a little bit.
So I sent an extensive yet professional message to Twitch that said, hey, this is my official appeal. Because this isn't fair. You allowed these bot accounts to be active, and therefore I had to deal with them. And I dealt with them faster than you did, because not only did I make a list of all of the ones that I have banned and removed from my channel, but they've been flagged as bot activity. And as of this message, you still have them active. This is no longer a me
Damn.
problem. This is a you problem. You better run me back my channel. And within like 10 minutes, somebody in Twitchlandia went, you right, and I got my account back.
Yeah.
And I was
Now
like, oh my God,
that.
we survived.
Now I'm going to plug something for a second here, guys. There are two bots that I recommend to help you stop bot activities. If you guys look, there's something called Kuma Bot Defender. Kuma Bot Defender, like that is specifically to go ahead and stop bot raids and things like that. And then I also use something called SiriBot. SERY. Yeah. And Siri, they're phenomenal. I use them both as well. But SiriBot, if you guys know all the art scammers and such who try to one-off, or like the AI viewers and such, it deletes them and bans them immediately, which is so helpful.
And there's a lot of things like that people like. This is something that I was telling a few other people, is you have the option to actually have some of those messages withheld, where your chat will never see them.
Yes.
And you can do that by banning certain phrases or certain words. That way your auto Twitch mod will automatically hold that, and it gives you the opportunity, like you can hit ban on your own, But even if you don't immediately hit ban, that message does not release into your chat.
Which is nice, is that you don't have to deal with it.
I've had a situation where someone, I don't really know why. I'm like, Doc, I'm not interesting. I'm some regular woman on the internet. But a person tried to dox me, but as a
Really?
measure, yeah. And I was like, you're cute, I guess. Like, why do that? But I had already went through the process of adding my personal informations into that phrase list. And I know that some of us have mods that are from all over, and you can opt for that to be a private list. Like you can mark it as private, so even your mods can't see that information if you don't want them to. They just know that somebody said something that is a no-go and they need to get rid of them.
Absolutely. And again, it's making the area and such that you want. By the way, guys, do we have any other questions here? Because if not, well, I think we'll start kind of wrapping it on up. But Vibes, I want to thank you very much for coming on in and doing the interview. See, I told you we weren't too scary here.
I don't know, man.
I've been wearing the Hawaiian shirt. I'm welcoming,
it's a very
damn it.
nice shirt. It's a great shirt.
Oh, man. But yes, I will say this has been an absolute wonderful one. And thank you for your patience. I know there's 10 million things we have been trying to do. And guys, I got done with my DJ stuff last night after working all day and called Vibes just to be like, okay, I just want to keep you and let you know what's up today. And I felt so embarrassed because I like to do that stuff way ahead of time so you know what to expect.
It was fine. It wasn't bad. Funny enough, I was like in my kitchen, like cutting vegetables, and I looked at the time and I was like, it's 10, and I like heated everything into the fridge and ran to the computer.
We must get ready for the call. But Vibes,
and my dogs are like, the fuck? And I'm like, move, dog, move!
Run away, we must flee. But do you have any final messages or final things you'd like to say here before we go ahead and end the call?
No, I guess not. Help your fellow person. Check on your people. Be nice to everyone. Wash your hands and your ass.
Not necessarily in that order, but yes.
But yeah, take care of the people around you, and reach out when you can.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We're going to take this over to intermission, and we will be back here in about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll see you in a flash.
Now. Hey, in the pixel realm where dreams take flight, a gamer named Chaos with skills so bright. Through streams of glory he leads the way. With every fail he lights the day. Chaos, a name so bold. His legend grows, a story untold. From humble beginnings to stardom's rise, he's a beacon of hope in gamers' eyes. With every click, a world unfolds where heroes battle and legends are told. Chaos the strategist, with a mind so keen, he guides his team to victory, a scene unseen.